582 edition of InvestData Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Yes, we'll start with our international market. I will tell you that both the global market and the local market, the NGX, are really on fire. Yes, I will tell you that the major markets, particularly Asia and the US, are on the day today. There's no trade in those markets. That's why you can see some less volume or activities in this big market, Asia and the US. I'll tell you that Europe market, as to speak, is in green. And on the strength of what? On the strength of solid earnings or corporate numbers that are hitting that market. I think it's a good news for European market. Open the first trading day of the week on a higher magnitude or on a higher strength. When I mean here, more money entered that market as quick because of what general positive numbers of earnings that have hit the market. Even when we are seeing that Asia and US are in holiday, as I've said earlier, as a result of that, we are seeing some subdued activities in most of the global market index. But for me, in that Europe, we are seeing that Germany index, which is a DAS index, is up by 0.2, and that of France 40, which is France, which is a CAC 40, is also up by 0.3, and that of UK, which is a FTSE 100, is also up by what? By 0.2. For me, it's a good one because when you see numbers or you see price moving on the strength of solid corporate numbers, boosting sentiment or confidence in the market, that is a good way to start, especially at this earnings season. Don't forget that most companies that are December as year end also are releasing their their audited account, just only not only in just Europe but also across major markets of the world. For me, it's a good one. But good news that we are seeing that Europe is moving in this direction, even when we are seeing some projections from the ECB, which is a European Central Banks. All these are also playing out. All eyes on the inflation figure to determine where the sentiment will be shrinking to in that eurozone. But I believe that for now we are seeing a positive sentiment generally, for Europe, and also as company in that zone also are disappointing investors with kind of number. The numbers are coming are impressive. This authenticity for me is good for also signal economic recovery, because when you see a company or a corporate numbers coming, it's also it's a pointer or a reflection of what is happening in that economy. That means on the background, those numbers are seen, even though we are not seeing more data in terms of economy, but it shows that yes, the economic activities of that zone is also improving. Before coming to post it for me, I tell you that companies' results so far in that group have said that about 57% of the numbers there also are looking good, and that also shows market capitalization also are so far impacted positively. For me, it's a good one, and we're seeing an average growth of earnings around 4% in the fourth quarter for many that have hit the market in that zone. For me, it's a good one, and that's also a good pointer where was so far. I'll tell you that European companies have really beat expectation by 60%. You may wonder compared to what the previous 54% of the weakness or 54% analyst estimate or forecast. For me, it's a good one for Europe, and that's why I'm not surprised that I'm seeing the market looking good, green this morning in that zone. And more companies also expected to release their number, even though they are large companies, also especially from the mining companies in that zone, also expected to push their numbers to the market. But also auto companies, especially the Volkswagen, also pushing more or expect to push results to the market today. And that's don't forget that in Germany, the Volkswagen is one of the big auto company in that zone, and we've seen that also they are cutting costs by almost for me it's a good one. Let's see how these companies also going to further push. But also despite that, look at that zone, industrial production, we saw a contraction in December. Yes, when I mean that, it's also what investors are looking at. Will they rebound from it? But let's see this contraction whether it will just also reverse and start looking up again. But let's keep our eyes on that. Also in Britain, we're seeing that housing prices also acting are also are seeing kind of feeling cost of housing there dropping in Europe and in Britain or England, let's put that way. For me, it's also a good one. And this also pointed that we're going to see a little recovery, and that also reflect despite we're seeing the political and trade tension here and there. But I tell you, as US and Iran are moving forward to discuss on nuclear on nuclear zone, or the way we put that, how do I put it now, on this the nuclear issue. So for me, it's a good one that at the end of the day. But right now, speak because we are seeing that other investment models like cryptocurrency, like silver, and also looking at gold, they are all dropping as we speak now. That also fuel market that's also happening in Europe. And for me, it's a good one. And also, we're seeing crude oil almost a bit flat this morning, or even looking down because all eyes are what on happening on this dialogue between US and Iran, and Iran on this issue of their nuclear talk. But let's see how all this will play out in the market. But let's look at what is happening in Africa. I told you earlier that US and Asia today are kind of observing a holiday. For that, the market there was seeing activities there very low. And for that, let's look at what is happening in Africa. African market, as we speak, is also mixed, but major market especially in South Africa, Kenya, and Ghana are also looking a bit mixed, but most of the markets in Africa are in green. For me, it's a good news for African market, especially NGX is down, or what I put now, it's a fantastic green. I will put that one if there's a word like that. You can see that it's also looking up. For me, it's a good one for NGX. Investors are looking are looking up and smiling to the bank, which is a good one. But I think this is the time that they call for strategy for you to sustain this momentum. Also, for your portfolio, they are giving such return. What I doing with it? That means today we're looking at what will attack the power of what the power of macroeconomic data and also momentum investing on amidst NGS at peak. Let's see how it's going to how we're going to do at this point. How we're going to navigate all this in this market today, on local market. But let's quickly look at the numbers that are, number market data for NGS. How is it playing out right now? Let's see the index and other information. As we speak right now, tell that the market is bullish. Well, they are across even 85,000 mark. For me, this one is a strong one this morning. The market have recorded about 2.25%. That means 2.3%. Let me put that way. Percent in green. Represent about 4,097.70 in terms of basic point gain. Moving from around the market close around on Friday, 482,000, but 482,313.02. But speak now, market is up, and for me, it's a good one. And today alone, we have seen that the market range in terms of activities has moved from 182,313.08 toward 186,717.47. You can see the margin here we're seeing. But looking at the market breadth is strongly positive. We're seeing 44 gainers at this hour and just 18 stocks in the red. Says that investors are going after value. Earnings is part of what is driving this price, because they have seen numbers of these companies before now, and also most of the companies expect to release their position account between now and end of March 31st, and for that, it's also already guiding investors what to do part time, because I tell you, market is already at the peak, and the possibility of pullback is very high, and also the possibility of market also extending this market phase is high. But what you and I, as a market player, what we'll be doing is very, very important, and that's what we want to discuss today. Knowing that yes, market rally is not a result of just only earnings, we're seeing that also the economic reform, which is structural reform was seen as part of it. That has boosted confidence. And so further, I want to look at how this thing can continue, especially when I say the topic today is what the power of macroeconomic data and also momentum investing amidst what NGS at peak. It tells you that yes, we have seen recently surge on NGS, hitting a new all-time high. As I just explained now, almost heading toward 187 mark as we speak. That is a good news. And if market have surged like this kind of level at this one, it's a powerful case that yes, it is not just policy sentiment. We know that economic data, economic data, and also improving momentum can also be a part of this history. And for me, because it is now a dual movement we are seeing, a movement we are seeing now in the market, we are seeing how the macroeconomic data, momentum, also and expectation are also moving. That means this historical mark we are seeing in the market, for me, it call for real kind of change in strategy. That means this current boom, not just come as a speculation, or a speculative move, but I believe that because it's rooted on improving macroeconomic data fundamentals, and also we're seeing that these are the factors fueling this strong momentum driving the market as we speak. On that note, you need to know all these macroeconomic data, how are they changed, what have changed in macroeconomic data that have supported the market at this as we speak now. That's why the power of macroeconomic data, and also for me, it's one of the things that is boosting the confidence in this market. And we need to look at these data and see how positive they are and what they're going to do to you and I as market player right now. Let's start from the currency stability that we are seeing. Even as we are seeing naira appreciating, even on daily basis. For me, it's a good one. We see the dynamics of the CBN in terms of try to manage this FS, release money to even the black market, official rate. I see that stability has started. Even since, I would say that for more than 1 year now, I've seen this stability. But we see that naira is appreciated. That means naira is possible heading to either 1,000 or 1,002. The way it's going, for me, it's a good one. But this stability, I say, is a plus because as we speak now, naira have strengthened around the 1,350 and 1,400 in recent days in official market, which is a good one. This stability is one major thing that boosts confidence. We are seeing this consistency that liquidity has improved. Dollar is also improving in Nigeria, and also tell you for me it's a good one. And also because of this stability, we are seeing a stronger external reserve. And for the first time that for 8 years, we are seeing Nigeria external reserve hitting 8 years all-time high, about $47 billion. For me, it's a good one, and these are the macroeconomic data also fueling what we are seeing because of total export also have also reached about 44.1 billion dollar. For me, it's a good one. First 9 months of 2025. These are the strong buffer that have provided confidence that we are seeing this market. For me, it's a good one. And don't forget that inflation also is also cooling from as high as 30% to, as we speak now, as at the end of December, the inflation that came in January, we saw about almost 15.12. But now that I tell you that all eyes are still on that January inflation. Any moment from now, if God is not out, I think yes, it should be out, but I've not seen it. We also will expect to see around that 14 or 13. This is a good one for me. As inflation is cooling, it shows that yes, it will real returns on investment and also boost consumers' purchasing power. And I believe that these are the positive things. And also don't forget that this is going to support also positive for corporate earnings as we are seeing inflation improving. That's going to be. That's why all eyes are still on consumer goods. Despite the price of them has gone up because we are seeing that things that will drive them are still very very retired. I think that also we are seeing that the reduction from corporate FX losses, attracting foreign world capital. These are good things at this time. Our reserve have boost confidence in terms of currency stability and also economic management. And inflation, like I said earlier, it's also increasing reinvestment return, also support what consumers spending. Export earning also have strengthened as reflected in our external reserve. For me, it's a good one. But if you look at the momentum aspect of it, liquidity has been a major factor that's also driving momentum. But don't forget that the PFAs are already preparing for capitalization, and also because of that, we are seeing them activities in the market. As they are buying high cap stock, can see how all these are pushing market up. And for me, market hitting a 200,000 mark, as we said last year, we will come before the end of Q1, which also a plus for the market. Even when all eyes are still on some new listing that will come this year, but if market on its own with high cap appreciation and others following hitting 200,000, but I said earlier that we don't use only the index to make decision in the market. Look at your sectoral index, look at individual stock, because I tell you, investment in equity market is risk is far more on individual companies, specific companies. That means you have to invest with knowledge and also invest intelligently to avoid letting your finger burn in the market. But I believe that with what we are seeing, this is a sign that yes, our rally is also backed by liquidity, which is also a good one. But don't forget that even the market is going up, always keep your plan and also let your investment strategy guide you in order to avoid stability, buying pressure increasing, particularly in high quality, large cap stocks, as we are seeing with strong no dividend history. It's part of what we are seeing here. Return of foreign investor in the market is also a plus. But I tell you, in market where we're having local investors having about 65% of the market and foreign investors 35, it's not a heady market. Yet, even though we're all smiling that market is going up, because when this 35% holding, when they start election and they start selling, that means it's time to take advantage of the rally and take decision because foreign investor, despite what to say that Nigeria is turning to one party system, but I will tell you that election risk is still there. Now that we're doing an electoral reform, we're seeing timetable here. There's also on the air trying to play politics with all that also. When it starts sending signal, people start selling down. And the market where you see foreign investors having 35%, local investor, institutional investor more having 65%, it's not still a heady market because when they are offering that 30% off, you're going to tell on the market. Or less as we speak now, gradually the PFA that are also planned for the capitalization also take advantage of what is happening to kind of increase their stake in the market with their recent adjustment in kind of fund where they should invest in the market. For me, it's a good one. And also positive and strong, robust earnings have been a plus. These are the momentum that also spread the market, knowing that fundamentally support rally, is what we're seeing. Before now, don't forget that in January, I was saying that we're seeing a technical rally. Now that we're seeing earnings, they were seeing a, fundamentally driven a rally. But despite that, we're seeing strong financials or strong results, coming from, major companies for 2025 financial year. But I tell you that yes, it can also, because most time when we are factoring in these earnings into the price, when it start coming, price to start reversing. That means you and I should not be carried away with off market. Let's know when to take profit, especially when we trade our plan. Because I know yes, this might attract a bargain hunting when it pull back, and that for me is a good one. For those that are focusing like income investor focusing on dividend, also these are opportunity that when you see a pullback, the yield of that company is also likely to go up. You must pay attention also to that as to how to invest as to speak now. And I tell you that across many of these markets or across the sectors, we are seeing key drivers like Steplat, MTN, Zenith Bank, NACO, GT, Nestle, all driving more part in the market. But your goal, don't look away from it. Your trading plan should be your word, your manual. You exactly know what to do. Because despite there's no supporting by fundamental, market can already reverse at any given time. For that, learn or know how to take what profit from the market. Because the momentum in the market will not continue. Good one that traders are taking advantage of the momentum. The current environment look very good idea forward, but strategy is what we need now to navigate the market at this point. And that's how they said navigating properly the market, profit taking and revaluation is key, because I tell you when the profit taking price pullback, focus on fundamental stance stock and buy into that pullback anytime, any day, especially as all eyes are on earnings. Because every investment is against the future, and also the market is looking ahead. Know what will be the outcome of MPC meeting in more. So that's why I'll tell you at this point that NGX need to remain cautiously bullish, because the outcome of also MPC meeting determine how far the price will go from where it is. And that's why you need to, if there's another rate cut or a hold, fine. If there's a rate cut, that will be good. We'll see this more capital coming to the equity space. More capital will leave from fixed income to if there's a rate cut to into equity if there's rate cut. But if there is hold, I'm going to see more continuity of this fund. That's another thing. But let's pay attention that any season at this point, full year ending that will come with corporate action will also be determinant how far, especially when the corporate action come with some dues payment, or it's also, or how I put it, match fully. Especially we saw what happened in the recent result that were released there from Infinite Mortgage Bank, one bonus and 35 people. If some kind of corporate action start trailing this year, because most company prices has gone up, for you to compensate your investor with the price they are selling now, I think that bonus might also be part of what will reign in this 2025. But also don't forget that when a company has also enlarged their share issue, become a burden for them to to grow their earnings, especially when that will dilute their earnings, it will also support their price. Some of them might go the way of bonus if their share issue is small. For those that is already enlarged, they might not look that direction. Will start to pay you good dividend. But if they have made good money, knowing that when price has gone up, for you to have a good yield, you have to pay good dividend. Also pay attention to company payout history. See what did they pay at the previous, especially their last 5 years. That will give you an insight and an average what expect to see of their payout. Because price has gone far ahead of this earning. Despite we are saying that the NGX at this current level is also a reflection of improving macroeconomic data that's also translating into market moving momentum. Investors are also cautioned also to know when to buy to value than just following the up rally and investing for investing sake. No, understand the sector you are putting your money and the particular stock also you are putting your money is very, very important at this point, especially as sector rotation but rebalancing will be a continuing thing in the market, not just one thing. As far as we are seeing these changes in prices, we are seeing government policy, we are seeing data coming out to give us insight. You must also read your portfolio. You must also align it to what is happening in the economy, what is happening in industry, what is happening also in different sector to stay ahead of this market. That's why I tell you that most companies, despite they're going up, most of them are still having a rate buy because of what fundamental and what will drive the price further as we speak now. And that's why know when to take profit and know when also to buy. Let also your objective guide you. Are you looking back for dividend? Are you looking back for capital acquisition? Or are you going to work for defensive stocks? All these are available in the market, but you need information and also play intelligently at this point. Because pullback definitely will become but focus on what? On quality earnings, on quality companies, and buy into deep at the end of the day. But let fundamental also guide you, but effectively combining your what? Your technicals and what your fundamental to make what inform investment. On this note, yes, let's come back to see if you know stock that are the chart on the market. Let's go to look at the market itself now. Looking at the chart, you can see here that the markets are above no 186,000 as to speak, almost 186,000 right now, heading toward 190. That means, like I tell you, before the end of March 31st, at any circumstance, company are paying more dividend as expected, more than expected. That also further put the price. And liquidity that is also put in the market, are still intact in the market. Well, as for that, price will still go up, but don't be carried away with this up market. You can see it here. Let's call our indicators here. Let's call our indicators here. Let's quickly call our money flow, call our T line. All this what we need to know where is momentum going. Our T line first here, you know, our money flow and also our MACD. Our MACD is to track what? The momentum. And I'll tell you in all, we're seeing that both money flow, MACD, the momentum are also looking positive right now. And what will you do at this point? You need to pay attention to it. Yes, today you can see that we're looking at a day chart now. See here, the money flow is already reading around 87. Why they won't look at for the past though the past 3 days now? I see that it's all just side trending here. No, we have not seen moving up in terms of the money flow on what on a daily chart. But MACD is strongly bullish. Consider the where it started, that is still ascending. More momentum is coming to the market, and that reflects also more money. But the volume also recently has also become impressive to show that something is happening compared to where you know, we saw the market rallying without no volume. But right now, we're seeing volume coming up. Even though it's not much, but we're seeing also trading nearly above the average traded volume. For this here, for me, it's a good one for the market. But let's pay attention to see, look at what is 1 hour chart doing in this market right now. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that also we're seeing like what I told you, that money flow is also started. You can see it here, and you can see that market is also heading up, and you know, MACD is also looking good, positive here. And for me, it's a good one. Look at other time frame, look at 2 hours charts because it's very, very important for that. 4 hour chart is also telling us market money flow is now almost 93, and you can see where it is now. And MACD is also very, very positive, you know, when it comes to what. The final one, look at 4 hours no charts. Let's look at 4 hour charts for the market. You can see on 4 hour charts because it's still downloading for 4 hours. You can see here, see the trend we're seeing here. Looking up, you can see a jump here, a gap here. For me, it's a good one. No, for liquidity, you can see that the same pattern we're seeing is trending, but MACD is also positive. That's why I said, you know, if you're in profit, nothing stop you from profit. Let's look at a few stocks on the NGX that are also performing excellently right now. Before quality, let's start with Wima Bank. How Wima Bank is doing among the financials, the banking sectors. Let's see. You can see this stock has gone as high as almost 27.95 this morning. You can see that the buyers and the sellers are fighting here. You know, the seller put the stock down. You know, you can see that buyers have pushed it up. But let's look at what proper. Let's start from 1 hour chart. You can see that you can see also the same pattern that's gone up here, about now around the trading around the 27.95 right now. Money flow is looking high on the 1 hour reading 72. MACD is also strongly positive for Wima Bank. On a day chart, that is very, very important. On a day chart, you can see for yourself strong MACD after start trading around 26.25 here. You can see before you now see a breakout this morning and strong breakout. You can see, I tell you, this is a good one for the stock for this morning. Money flow reading at 72. MACD is also bullish on this stock. The quick one, look at what is happening in NACO before we go to MTN, which is also a good one to watch. Let's look at NACO stock now. What is happening there? Yeah, NACO is also see profit taking activities here in and out, but the stock right to rebound, gradually ahead of the number corporate action. You can see it here. Also, for me, it's a good one. Money flow reading 88. Good fund is in the stock. Even MACD is also looking strong. Even when you are seeing a kind of descending histogram here, it's a good one for the stock. Like 1 hour stock chart for NACO. NACO 1 hour stock have open touch today around 61, 62, or trading around 57 right now. You can see that it's already forming a kind of a V shape or a cup here. You don't want to mean it had to come to meet this level here and surpass it. That means we're seeing this stock surpassing 165 heading to 170 and 180 very soon. For me, also pay attention to this 1 hour chart signal we're seeing here. This is a very strong bullish signal we are seeing on NACO. See where it's trying to go. See where it's coming from. See on the 1 hour chart, you can see it's a sign that something is happening in stock. Any this stock will also balloon. You can see technically it's a sign. Money flow is looking up at 53 onward on an uptrend that will try to continue. Look at this histogram here. Look at the formation here. See where it's coming. Once it cross and become bullish here, and this blue one cross the red one, that is an uptrend. And MACD is also looking at MFI is also looking up. And MACD is already giving us a sign of what a buy here. Looking at the chart for NACO. Quick one, look at what is happening also in MTN. MTN and all these big cap, I see MTN, and let's look at MTN. Is this stock available in the market? Let's still watch and see. You can see the trend of MTN right now. MTN is already, this 1 hour chart. You can see where it is around 77 naira. Is there supply? Money flow is looking down. Gradually, you can see it here. While MACD is very, very strong. So look at a day chart for MTN. Tell us a good picture. MTN can see where it's open from around 7 or 673. Can see an uptrend. For me, it's a good one. Trading above the tree line. Even when you see that the pattern on a daily chart looks a bit, because of volume to trade price. But I'll tell you, gradually the stock is making an uptrend ahead of what? Ahead of corporate action. MACD is also very positive and see here. And money flow leading 93 on a day chart. But on 1 hour chart also, we're seeing again here. You can see that it's still around that level of what of 77. Even though that touched almost 78 this morning, but for me it's a positive one for the stock. Right? The last but not the least, let's look at what is happening in Okomu oil. It's very, very important that we pay attention to Okomu oil now. We're seeing that all these big high cap stocks are trading off. You can see Okomu now this morning. This is a 1 hour chart. Right, can jump up to this level. You can see almost at 1,459 as we speak now. Let's see on the day chart what it is telling us on the daily chart. You can see the movement Friday and today also is a sign. So that I have traded for a long time, but we're seeing ahead of all the corporate action, and it's happening that by towards end of March, we're going to see their corporate action and also their final dividend for 2025 will be announced. On this note, I will say thank you and look forward to see you on Wednesday by more grace. I will say enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.